Hey everyone! So, this week you're going to come up to the school and you're going to pick up your packet up here. It's going to be a little manila envelope. Let me go ahead and show you what's inside right now. Now, inside this envelope, there's going to be a page with instructions. There's going to be a little black baggie, and you'll notice that you can feel that it has paper in it. It's a little like stiff like cardstock. Do not open this bag until you're in a dark place, okay? So you have this baggie right here. You also have in there these two little baggies. One is going to be a little bag full of something that looks like salt, and a little bag labeled F, and in a slightly bigger bag it looks like something like sand. It's kind of like grayish color, well not gray, but dirt colored. It's tan in a bag labeled D. The F stands for fixer, and the D stands for developer. Okay? So those are the four things that are going to be in your little manila envelope. I'm going to show you how to use these. I'm going to highly suggest that when you get your envelope, go ahead and stick it in a bag or somewhere where it's going to stay dark. Even though this is supposed to be a black bag to keep that paper light safe so that light doesn't touch it, you don't want to open it up until you're in a dark room. Now, the other materials you are going to want to use in this activity are, of course, a dark room. That could be your bathroom. I'm going to suggest that where we're going to be using some liquids here. The other things are, you're going to want some bottles. Now, you can have it already filled with water, or you can go to a sink and fill it yourself. But you do not need to fill it all the way, just maybe halfway-ish, about there, and that is all you're going to need in that bottle. Make sure that both bottles are about halfway full. So both of my bottles are about halfway full. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to want some sort of tray for both of those bottles. Now I'm just using those lids that are on like the Cafe Rio containers. You are welcome to use something like that. You could use a styrofoam container. You could use things such as ceramics or glass, but if you use kitchen materials, there's a chance it will stain them. So I'm not going to suggest that you use those. Try to find something that is disposable first. Okay. What you're going to do is you are going to grab your bag, open it up, and find those two little baggies, right? Go ahead and just leave the photo paper bag inside the manila envelope until you're in your dark place. Now, with both of these, I want to make sure I don't get confused on which container is which, so I am going to label them. I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to label one bottle with a D. The other bottle, I'm going to label with an F. Probably should label it before you get it wet. Okay, so now that I have a D bottle, I'm going to put that with my D powder, and my F bottle with my F powder. And what we're going to do is we're going to put those in and shake them up. That seems like a little much and put a little out. So about halfway, that's all you need. And I'm going to shake that. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with my D bag. So that's what you're going to do with your D and your F bags right there. Make sure that you get them into containers and have them labeled there. Then you're just going to shake it. Now, it does help to know that your D, once you have it mixed, is going to be a nice golden color, and your F is going to be practically clear. But nonetheless, you don't want to make any mistakes. Okay, now that I have these two bottles mixed up, I am ready to go into my dark room to do some work. Let's go now. Grab your stuff. Okay, guys, so what we're going to be doing, let me go ahead and take a seat so I'm at the same level as my materials. I have right here my containers. I have my bottles, one labeled with a D, one labeled with an F, and I have my manila envelope with the black envelope that has my photo paper. Now the photo paper is sensitive to light, so you don't want to open it in a room with light. This room right now has a bunch of red lights. You guys can see this. This lamp right here has a red light in it. That will help provide a little extra light. Okay, so the photo paper is very sensitive to blue and green light, which means you're not going to see the red light affecting the paper as much. However, if you have a bunch of red lights in your room, it will affect your papers. So try not to use a lot of bright lights in your dark room. If you need to have a little bit to help you see, find yourself a red light or try to figure it out in the dark. So let's go ahead and show you what we'll be doing today. We're going to expose some paper to light, which actually means you're going to need some sort of device. So we all have one that we carry around in our pockets, and it is our cell phones. So you guys can see my cell phone right here. I have it in here. I'm going to set it right over here. Now I don't want my cell phone to emit any light until I'm ready. I want to set it up and then expose it to light. I'm going to grab a set of keys. I'm going to use these keys to set up my image and expose it to light and see how it turns out. I am ready to test this out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out a paper. Okay, so I have pulled out my first paper. I'm going to leave the others in my bag, and I'm just going to put them right back into my envelope right there. They are now safe from the light in the envelope, inside of another envelope away from my light. I can even take them and put them over here a little bit further away, okay? So that they're not going to be in my light radius. I'm going to take these two containers and I'm going to set them out on my workstation. I'm going to take my two bottles. I'm going to put the D to the left and the F to the right. All right? So first one I'm going to fill up.
Is my D bottle.
Shake it one final time. I'm now going to shake up my F bottle and add my F bottle to its tray. Okay, now those are ready. I'm going to, once I'm done exposing my image to light, I'm then going to set it in the developer for a minute, and then I'm going to move it out into the fixer for a minute. Now, you don't really want to get this on your hands, so if you have a pair of tongs that you can use, that is always helpful. If not, use a pencil or something like that you don't mind sticking into the water to get it. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to make sure that the shiny side is up. There's one side that you can rub your finger across it, it's smooth. The other side, your finger will stick to it. It's a little stickier. It's also a little glossy. That's the side you want to have up. So glossy side up. I'm then going to take my keys and I'm going to lay it on the image in a way that I think will look cool. So I have my keys laid out. I'm then going to take that chain and move it through the image, and voila. Alright. I'm now going to take my phone and turn on the light option. I'm just going to count out 5 seconds.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi.
Turn off my phone and set it away. I am done exposing it. There's going to be no light hitting it other than that. I'm going to now take this image and stick it in my developer. And now I need to leave it in there for an entire minute. If you spill a little bit of the chemical, you can wipe it away immediately, or you can wipe it all up once you're done. You're going to want to make sure that you are counting out the entire minute. You are also welcome to use a timer on your phone. Just make sure that your phone is underneath the table or something like that to help it work out. Right now, my image is starting to develop. I can see it appearing before my eyes. Now, your envelope contains several pieces of paper, so you're going to be able to test this out more than once. Don't goof off and ruin all 4 of them in a single go. Please make sure that you keep your papers in the bag until after you are finished. Now, it has been 1 minute and my image is probably about done developing. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. Let's see. I'm going to grab this pair of tongs. If you don't have a pair of tongs, you could easily use a pencil to demonstrate. I'm going to use just one part of my tongue as if it was a pencil. I'm going to just stick it in, tilt my image up. Then I'm going to grab it and pull it out, shake it a little bit, and move it over to the fixer and slide it in. Now with the fixer, you actually usually want to lay it face down in the fixer. So I'm actually going to flip this over, make sure that it's face down, use my pencil, just tap it down underneath, and I'm just going to leave it right there in the fixer for the next 5 minutes. As I'm waiting, I can make more images and put each one in the fixer as well. You're welcome to also wait until it's all done. One thing you're going to want to do is you're going to use your image once it's done, get a closer look at it and decide if you need more light or less light. To demonstrate, let me go ahead and show you this image right now. Okay, so you can see right now how the keys and the chain all showed up. Unfortunately, my darkest value is about a middle gray. You'll notice that this area right here, which is the darkest spot, is not as dark. My shadow is much darker than the rest of the image. So that means I needed more time to expose my image. So 4 seconds was not quite enough. So I'm going to do it again. This time I'm going to try 8 seconds to try to get it nice and dark in the background and nice and white in the foreground. Okay, I just finished making my last one and it has been sitting in for 5 minutes. It's time to pull it out. I'm going to go ahead and sit on this paper towel that that's been waiting right there for me. And now it's the fun part. Now these liquids right here, we don't want to just pour them down the drain. They are corrosive and you do not want that going down a metal sink. So what we want to do is we want to try to put them back into these bottles. Okay, so what you can do is you can try your luck and try pouring it in like this. Not bad, I got most of it in there. However, I did spill a little. Or if you have a funnel, you can pour it in through your funnel. Alright, so make sure you put the lids back on, and you can then set those aside. If you are saving paper to do it later, make sure you put it back in the bottles. Don't leave them open air, they lose potency in open air. A few thoughts to think about is the first image when you develop it is going to develop a lot faster than the others. Every time you develop a new image, it's going to take longer and longer because the developer starts to lose power. Okay? Have fun making images, and I can't wait to see what you create. Until next time.